Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Wednesday. I always forget the day of the week. I'm going to work on that. We're going to get that taken care of. Check of I-20 this evening. We've had some brief sprinkles along the Interstate 20 corridor in the last hour, and even some brief hail reported in Frenchman's Bend. A buddy of mine sending me a message earlier saying that they had some hail for a brief period of time here shortly, about 5-10 minutes ago, as these little isolated cells make their way through northern Louisiana. We'll get to that in just a minute. Check of temperatures across the area. 50s to low 60s. 61 in Monroe, 58 El Dorado, 60 in Columbia, mid-50s in Natchez and up the Mississippi Valley. On our way to below freezing temperatures tonight. Again, dew points generally in the upper 30s to low 40s. 42 in Monroe, 37 in El Dorado, and a check of rain totals. Again, most areas, if we've seen precip, it has been very, very brief and short-lived. A check of the Louisiana Mesonet, which is operated by the University of Louisiana Monroe. 0.06 of an inch of rainfall at ULM. 0.03 of an inch of rain in Eris. 0.13 of an inch of rain in Sicily Island. A lot of that, I believe, was still from this morning. Gina, almost 0.08 of an inch. Columbia, almost 0.15 of an inch, but I think that was mainly from this morning. Winfield, 0.13 of an inch. So, again, it's pretty light rain totals in general, but not zero across the area. Susie said she got a quick little shower about 10 minutes ago southeast of Monroe. Yeah, I noticed the storm building off to the northeast. It was probably the storm over the Frenchman's Bend community. I say storm. They didn't have any lightning with it. I saw the shower over the Frenchman's Bend community as we went to go pick up the little one from school, and I just saw it, and I was like, huh, look at that. And I even pointed it out to the wife. I was like, look at the rain coming from that. I didn't know that there was ice falling from it, but go figure. A lot of cold air aloft. It's not completely out of the realm of possibilities to see that kind of stuff happen. Wind speeds are out of the northwest, generally in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range, but some areas still seeing higher sustained winds than that. The gusts still range in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range. We've seen gusts as high as 30 miles per hour through the course of the afternoon. Check of the infrared satellite, and again, as the sun sets on this Wednesday, still some lingering clouds, but most of that will thin out as we head through the night, and the colder, drier air continues to take hold. Radar made possible by Brown's Roofing. Again, schedule your free roof inspection, commercial or residential, at brownsroofingla.com. And you can kind of see, again, some of the very isolated specks that have made their way through portions of Ouachita Parish, southern sections of Morehouse Parish, and into Richland Parish as well. Most of that moving off to the southeast. Hey, thanks, Dan. Most of those cameras, courtesy of LADOTD. We have a very nice traffic cam network in this area. Arkansas and Mississippi also do great work with theirs. These showers continue to migrate to the southeast as the drier air continues to win over. It'll zap the last of these as they progress southeastward. Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. Let's jump into this. The possibility of some overrunning moisture and kind of a secondary piece of energy that moves through the area Saturday and tries to set up for the possibility of some flurries or light snowfall along the I-20 corridor. Now, it's also in full disclosure that I tell you that I'm going to be running this particular live stream with a little bit less data than I had during the midday live stream. And it's no fault of my own or no fault of my vendor or the data stream itself. Everything's fine. It is the upstream problems with INCEP, which is the National Center for Environmental Prediction, but I don't even think it's their problem. I think it's just all of the network cell phone problems that have been going on across the country have been causing some downstream issues. So some of the model data that we would typically have available to you did not make it in on time and may not make it in at all until we get the next cycle. Either way, which those happen every 4 to 6 hours, so it's not like it's that prolonged of an issue. And you can see what I keep painting as the worst case scenario. For snow lovers, this would be a best case scenario. Paula, thank you so much for the report. Yeah, like I said, we had some reports of hail in Frenchman's Bend. So Swartz obviously right there next door, so it makes a lot of sense that you folks observed that as well. Hail without thunder. Go figure. Again, this painted as a worst case scenario as the potential for snow becomes a possibility across parts of the Gulf Coast region late Saturday into early Sunday morning, and then advances off to the east. This is just another computer model's take. This is the GFS model, and this is this morning's run, which usually finishes around midday. Typically, we would have a second run, what we call the 18Z run, which is usually ran around lunchtime, and we would have that available to us. But because of the upstream data problems, it's not available right now. So I'm showing you the old data. And also, in all fairness, the 18Z run is very similar. I've seen it. I just can't show it to you. I've seen it, and it looks very similar to what's painted here across the region Saturday and into Sunday, with the more concentrated, heavier, more notable snowfall potential off to our east. And again, if you miss the midday stream, if you're going to look at this and you look at ground level and you see that the computer models are throwing out snow possibilities, then you start looking at all levels of the atmosphere to kind of make it all make sense. So let's make it all make sense. This is a look at the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And again, our cold front, as we speak, continuing to filter some northwesterly winds. Much colder, drier air drops us below freezing tonight. Northwesterly flow will continue, doesn't really allow for a lot of moisture return. Sunshine continues through the daytime hours tomorrow. We see a quick warm-up ahead of our next cold front, which will move through the area Friday, late Friday. Part of this upper disturbance, this strong surge of winds embedded within this deeper trough of low pressure. So that advances through, but note there's a secondary kind of lobe of energy, piece of energy, whatever you want to call it, and you can really see it even more so there in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And as it swings through Saturday, it sets us up for that deeper trough to perhaps provide some rising motion in the atmosphere and generate clouds, and for some areas possibly generating some precipitation, rain, snow for some, a mix for some, just depends on location, across the southeastern United States. Again, I'm talking about a large area. But also the trough's position really kind of sets it up as it strengthens and deepens to pull some moisture in and set up for a more notable event across portions of the mid-Atlantic coastline, the southeastern United States, and some of those spots. It really just depends on how things evolve. Maida says she got a little shower in Bastrop about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, most of northeastern Louisiana, the really spotty stuff. Very brief, but notable. And again, any rain is good rain at this point. Futurecast, made possible by Bayou Power Sports I-20 frontage road in Monroe, shows the snowfall potential. This is the worst case scenario that I was talking about earlier. This is the Barron 3K. This was this morning's run. Again, still trying to get the midday data, the early afternoon data in late this afternoon. Hasn't been successful. And again, this is a worst case scenario that I genuinely, truly I can't envision happening. It's not out of the realm. It's not impossible. I just don't see it. And then again, here's the GFS model, which again, I just showed you those 1 and 2. So here's 1 and 2 in terms of snowfall output. And again, it shows some trace amounts as a possibility. And a lot of the 18Z data was very similar. A lot of the data that I can't show you, but I've seen, continues to kind of point the same general picture. Nothing in Log Cabin from Wanda. Thank you so much for letting me know. May says they got a little brief something in Marion. It sounded like hail, but very brief. So, yeah, again, most of these areas, thank you so much for your reports. I really appreciate it when you folks just give me a heads up of what's going on in your area. Because we can sit here and talk about it all we want, but until somebody can tell us, yep, that happened, or nope, that didn't happen, makes all the difference in the world. So hold your nose as we go into this forecast. Lows tonight will fall back below the freezing mark. Winds will stay breezy, at least early on. They should die down, the winds that is, as we go through the overnight. Daytime highs tomorrow near 50. A lot of us will spend most of the day in the upper 40s. Rain chances close to 0. Winds out of the north-northwest. Look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware. I saw Matt at Sterlington Business Alliance today. Got to speak there this morning. Matt's a great dude. I appreciate their support of the Digital Weather Desk, and they're always standing by at 3B Hardware and at 3B Outdoor Equipment to help you out in whatever needs you may need or have. Need and have. Anyway, and there's a look at the 7-day forecast as it sits for the rest of this week. And I know you're thinking, that was a lot of fuss for him to bump the rain chances up to 10%, or the precip chances up to 10%. And you're right. But again, I also am not oblivious to what snow mentions in the South do. I know that we already have a heightened number of folks on this stream than normal, because if you mention it, folks come looking for information. And there are a lot of folks that know that you're coming here for that information and like to prey on you to get you to come back and continue to click, and because people make money off of those clicks. And so again, we need adults in the room that are looking at the data and can sit there and say, hey, like let's keep our feet planted firmly in reality and what we're looking at in terms of the forecast. And so that's what I'm trying to do. Again, my days of trying to be first in terms of bringing you information are gone. Yes, during breaking weather, my goal is to bring it to you as soon as possible, as accurately as possible. And if I can be first, great. But when it comes to forecasts like this, winter weather forecasts, I'm just worried about trying to get it right. I'm not trying to be the first person. I'm never going to boast, I was the first to tell you. No, we'll sit there and say, we've been talking about this, but I'm not. That's not how we play this game. All right, so fishing game comes out at 8 o'clock tonight. What else we got? Next live stream will be tomorrow morning, and it will be a smidge early. As I mentioned, I will be speaking with the Monroe Chamber of Commerce at the Coffee and Conversations tomorrow morning at Tower Place in Monroe, which is right down the road. But that's at 8. So I usually do the live stream between 7:30 and 8. Obviously, it'll be a smidge earlier tomorrow. I'll be back in the fancy clothes to start the day. I haven't worn a tie, I don't think, since I've started the Digital Weather Desk, which is pretty cool. Don't plan on wearing one tomorrow. But anyway, we'll do that stream early. I'll let you know if any changes to the forecast and all that stuff. If data comes in tonight and anything changes, I'll let you know. But again, also keep in mind, it's Wednesday. We're talking about tweaks to the forecast for Saturday. There's a lot that can change between now and then, and a lot will change between now and then. So thanks so much for joining the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the app. Available for Apple and Android users, made possible by James Spivey, bankruptcy attorney. Thanks so much for taking time out of the day. I'll keep you updated on any drastic changes, and I'll check in with you first thing tomorrow morning.